Hey everyone, this is Manly Badass 2 and welcome to The Object. The Object is a Wolf RPG editor horror game about a man who wakes up in a mansion and finds he's lost his head. Where am I? I can't remember anything. It appears my head has been cleanly lopped off. How I can still move remains a mystery. For now, I should find some light or something to warm myself up. Steering controls. It's a chest. When I open it, I can see a box of matches with only one match still left inside. The flame of the match suddenly ignites and proclaims a replacement for my missing head, lighting up the vicinity. This should prove helpful in finding my way out of here. That's using your head. I guess we're a bit lightheaded. There's gonna be a lot of head puns by the time we're done here. So before we head out of this room, a layer of dust lines the top of the dresser. There's a bunch of uninteresting and useless junk inside the drawers. I see something shining inside. Small key. It's a poster or something of the like. The color is too faded for them to make sense of what it once was. A layer of dust lines the top of the cabinet. There are a bunch of ornaments I don't recognize placed inside. Maybe these are part of the owner's collection. The door won't open. Looking closely, it's apparent that the door has been frozen shut. A fire might be melted loose. Should I melt the ice door with a fire head? That's using your head, literally. Yes, the door is melted, allowing myself free passage. However, the question still remains as to why I was trapped here in the first place. There's one room down. So no, we didn't use the key after all. Weird. Something seems to be scribbled on these pieces of paper. I can't quite make sense of it. Something seems to be scribbled on these pieces of paper. Can't quite make sense of it. There's an unlit lantern lying here. I wonder if there's some way to light it. My head. Now I don't have to worry about having a constant light source on me anymore. Especially when I'm not wearing the appropriate head. However, my mind drifts back to thoughts of why I'm trapped here in the first place. What was I doing? Where is this place? Is this my home? Or is it someone else's home? I can't recall at all. Leaving that aside, I guess my next step is to find a way to leave this room. It's like an escape room. It's a fireplace. It's not being used at the moment, but it looks like a fire could be started if one wanted. Leave it alone for one moment. A standard sword is on display. It appears to be a prop. I start a fire in the fireplace. I can hear a sound coming from somewhere. It's a clock. The second hand makes a pleasant ticking sound as it moves around clockwise. Beyond this door looks like a study. There are a lot of books there, so exposing them to a head engulfed in flames is probably not the best of ideas. I should try re-entering with either a better head or without this one. It won't open, it appears to be locked. Lit bulb inside this lamp, I should take it with me. Put a light bulb head. Can change current heads. So we have multiple heads here. Multitaskable person. Let's try to see if we can remove the suit. Alright, we're in the study. The book is considerably thick and heavy. Take the book. Dictionary head. Okay, now I can, you know, I actually have no idea how dictionary head would help me. Can I read myself? The bookshelf moves when I touch it. Ooh. It's an unfinished letter. The professional style of writing leads me to believe that it's a business letter. It's a cup of tea. It's already gone cold. It's a stack of papers. Do they plan to throw these away? This is a very mysterious game. The book here are all filled with technical jargon and terminology. The summarized topic of these books also may relate to biology and living organisms. There's a journal here with a small lock on it. Use small key. Looks for some kind of experimentation log written by researchers. Should I read it? Yeah. 6-4. I've done it. I was able to obtain a young male headless being. So we're Frankenstein? I'll omit the details here. Let's just say I had to pull a few strings with my contacts to make it happen. This journal shall be a logging of my observations. The boy headless being, hereafter referred to as A for brevity, is as follows. Height, 3 foot 10 inches without the head. Oh, so we are really a boy. Weight, 44 pounds. Taking into account the lack of head, it's likely that A is between 8 and 9 years old. Maybe slightly older than my own daughter. I bought a room at my mansion to use as a secret compartment, so I can safely raise A there. I will keep the temperature at 77 degrees and the humidity at 50% as I observe him. 65 room temperature, 77 degrees, 40% humidity, sunny. Today, A seems calm, despite having no head. He seems to have no problem with processing both visual and auditory information. I gave A a meal consisting of cooked meat, fish, canned soybeans, and boiled vegetables with a glass of water. But A didn't exhibit any signs of interest in eating or drinking. I mean, he has no head. Will A be alright without nutritional sustenance? I also tried everything to keep A's existence a secret from my family. I brought A into the mansion late at night. I kept voices and noises to a minimum to ensure they don't find out. The experimentation log about the young headless boy called A continues for 3 more months. The file entry reads 9-9. A started to act violently. Nothing has changed up to this point. The environment is the exact same, and so the reason for this change is unknown. In accordance to the agreement made at the time with my contact, who gave me A in the first place, young headless being will be called. After that, I will perform an autopsy on why A turned violent. I will be requesting assistance from my peers. Due to A's striking resemblance to a little human boy, I find myself hesitant to dispose of his corpse. However, the safety of my family comes first. A is not human. A is a wild creature. I am positive I am not making a mistake here. Experimentation log ends here. The sorts of future entries containing cryptic mentions of further discoveries regarding the headless beings. We're our own species of headless beings, apparently. I can't help but shake the feeling that this researcher has raised and killed several other headless beings in the course of his studies. Strange. It also occurs to me that he didn't mention requesting any outside assistance in the culling of his specimen. This isn't a book, rather it's a book-shaped storage box. There's a key inside. Wait. Photo album. Contains numerous photos of a baby girl with her parents. The parents, a young man and a woman, are all smiling in the photos. Dictionary. Flip through the pages, there's one specific word that was underlined. Object. Anything a person, man, which thought or action is directed. To express or feel disapprove or dislike or states to be adverse, to state commerce and opposition. Object, rather. In that situation. New journal entries. I have stumbled upon the most unsettling hypotheses. What if these headless beings were once normal encephalists having a head human beings? What if some kind of power caused humans to turn to headless beings? No doubt the more I ponder, the more it makes my skin crawl. I have no proof whatsoever of this hypothesis, so I have no reason to publish it. What's worse is that this Birdman killer has still not been caught yet. To think a murderer, not to mention an actual monster, is lurking around in the very city. It's terrifying. I saw him. I saw that Birdman. Birdman. On my way home, I happened to witness that Birdman's killer carrying a dead body. The Birdman was going to behead them with that cleaver of his, wasn't he? Fear took control of me, and I ran at the moment he started to chop off the victim's head. I never want to run into that Birdman's killer again. I think it'd be best if I stayed indoors with my family for a couple of days. Interesting. Newspaper clipping about a recent serial murder case. It seems the victim had their head cut off. According to this clipping, these killings occurred in Kizaraki City. The huge headline warns citizens about a Birdman. Is this Birdman what they're calling the killer? I seriously hope I'm not at Kizaraki City right now. Technical jargon. Journal entries. 2-4. At last I finally discovered these esophagus life forms, which I call the headless beings, to be reality. They are no mere urban legend. With this, I will no longer be mocked by my colleagues that my bunk theories are just make-believe stories. My wife's worries should now be eased. 214. When I look deeper into this, there seems to be remarkably few individuals who are studying these headless beings like I am. Sure, there must be plenty of these headless beings roaming the world as we know it. Unfortunately, there is such little research in existence on them. Not to mention the internet is filled with fake garbage websites sensationalizing people's fear of the unknown, making headway into the field will be fraught with difficulties. Oh no. Oh wow. There's a lot of journal entries. Whoops. Newspaper reported about a murder video yesterday. From what I've read, the victim's head has been cut off. Naturally, given my prior research, I suspected it to be the work of a headless being. The headless beings are creatures who will kill human beings and take their head as their own. This is a very interesting world. And that headless being now wearing their victim's head will live out their life under the guise of that person unbeknownst to those around them. It may sound like I'm making all this up only to get a few scares out of people, but I'm telling the truth. These creatures do exist, which brings me back to the newspaper. To simply headline it as Murder in Kisaragi City, a Birdman Killer, and place it as a story on the back of the newspaper, all they did is make it sound like it was any other crime in the city. I found papers written by other researchers on the headless beings and have come to understand them a little more. The headless beings are no different biologically from human beings, aside from the lack of head above their neck. The headless beings instinctively attack human beings on sight to take their head as their own. However, contradictorily, there has been times where they do not feel the need to attack humans. Further verification is necessary. Whether the headless beings possess human intelligence and self-awareness is unclear. There is no consensus on this matter. I think it's the last one in this library. Yesterday, another beheading murder happened. Could this really be the work of a sole headless being? Could a single headless being have reason to kill more than one human being? Or could it truly be simple as if any killing could be called simple? As if any killing could be called simple, rather. Open-shut murder case. There's still much we don't know about these headless beings. Obviously, having the opportunity to examine one of them up close and personal would be the best method. No. What am I thinking? That's just asking me killed. Postmortem dissection would logically be the most ideal way to learn about them. Aside from my studies, I got the chance to spend the rest of the day enabling my daughter at the park. It's been far too long since we last spent quality time together. I've been busying myself with my work as of late. It was the least I could do as her father. So I wonder if this is kind of an Omega Man, I Am Legend situation. But instead of like zombies or vampires, it's Dolahans. The writing piece of paper appeared to be written quite haphazardly, as if they were in a rush. They read, "Who's there? Those fools told me those beings don't have our intellect, yet they do. Their intelligence matches ours. Because if they didn't, then this never would have happened. Did I write this when I was alive? Or did the killer write this? No, I could be a human, actually. Now that I think about it, I could have had my head stolen. Can I read these papers now? No. I don't know what the bookhead's for. That's weird. It won't open. It appears to be locked. I'm not sure if the keys are automatic or not. No, yeah, they are. Weird. Someone dropped a cleaver here. There's blood stuck to it. Could this be a murder weapon? It might explain the trail of bloody footprints I could use on the hallway. Is this actually the scene of my own murder? That means the killer must have discarded my body in the storage room after finishing the deed. Which brings to mind the question of why I was murdered. Am I once again able to move when I'm clearly dead? It's like I've become some sort of monster. Where could my head have ended up? Did the killer take it with them? Is the killer still even in this house? Or did the killer already make their escape? But now my number one priority will be getting out of this place. But it might behoove me to find out where my head is at the same time. The more I think about how that originally looked like, I can't recall anything about my face or any remarkable features at all. I'll take this cleaver with me for self-defense in the meantime. Who knows what's out there? You can obtain an ending now by leaving through the front door? Okay. However, you're free to search other rooms for more clues. Depending on what you find, the ending might change. Ah, I see what they're doing. So where's the front door? This way? So it's a little bit investigatory. So now I'm assuming we're altering the ending a bit. And whenever we go out, it's like we're cashing in. Well, let's try one ending. It's a corpse of a man. I wonder who he was. Exit ending. I guess I should leave this place for now. I wonder if going to the police would be my best course of action. And I get this feeling, like if I were to walk out here in this state, I would cause a shock to the public. Maybe I should have worn a more pleasant-looking head. I'll just borrow this guy's head. Then I'll leave the remainder of this body buried somewhere. The police will be none the wiser. All what matters is that they get informed of this some way or another. What is that saying again? Every man knows his own business best. Eventually the police will figure out who killed who soon enough, and the killer will be brought to justice. There's no real reason for me to get myself any more involved in this mess. Except we're probably the killer. I bet you. Okay, so this is where it starts. There's some woman's clothing inside the closet. There's a dresser, some men's. It's a photo. A young woman and man with a physique similar to mine are standing and smiling. Between them is a little girl wearing a carefree smile. This must be the family who lives here. Could this young man in the photo be me? It's no good. I can't remember a single thing. It's a vanity table. Glare lights reflecting on some sort of ornamental item in the drawer. This is a key. Decorated key. The bookshelf is filled with magazines on beauty and fashion. It's a calendar. The owner of this room seems very diligent. All days leading up to January 10th have been crossed out with an X. Also, January 15th has been marked with a star. The words "Our anniversary" is written beneath it. It's a compass. Sure. I feel like this is useless. The red rose in the vase is slightly wilting. Ooh, no, actually, no, it's not useless. I was wrong. Uh-oh. It's a corpse of a little girl. She'd be no older than 10 years old. Was she my daughter? To cut short the life of someone who had so much future ahead of them is just excessively cruel. The killer must be a heartless monster. Even when looking upon the little girl's dead body, no sentimental memories stir within me. It's because the memories were never there, or can I just not recall them? I thought I felt something strange. Was it just my imagination? Ah, damn it, that's absurd. How can he still be moving? I thought I was finished with him. I even completely took his head away. There's no way I can ask the beasts for help. What would I even say to them? My story will come across as ravings of a lunatic. Ah, goddamn it, do I have to run away? No, I have nowhere to run to. What? A doll has been dropped here. The claw grabber. Oh, a claw grabber head, okay. It's a crayon drawing. Blood has been splattered on top of it, but you can still make out the drawings of a young girl wearing a dress. It's a red schoolgirl dress. I can't seem to read the words I read on this. Maybe there's a head I can wear that can understand words better. Yeah, dictionary head. That makes no sense, but you know. It's a book about a fairy tale. I'm not interested in reading it. Oh, okay. It's a vanity table, as kids pretend makeup sets on top of it. It's some girls' clothing inside the closet. Small table. I can see something fill in the back, but my arm is too big to reach into the narrow space. Usually, the claw grabber head. It's an envelope. I can see a letter and some small slips of paper inside. I can't read them in my current state. For now, I'll place them on top of this table. Mendoksan, It's a letter and some small slips of paper I picked up earlier. The beautiful stationery has been marred by atrociously bad handwriting. It reads, "To Grandma, happy birthday. We'll have tons of fun this year. Attach a letter or tickets to an amusement park." Just keep making saves. Anything here? There's smoke coming out of this box. Did someone light a fire in here? I should put it out before it spreads. I need to bring water over here somehow. Water head. We need on the water bucket head. Which is logical, by the way, in this world. Bathroom. Toilet. Cabinet. That's weird. It's a sink. There are signs that indicate someone tried to wash out blood here. It's a washing machine. It's a bucket with my soul. Take the bucket. It's a cabinet. Reflection is in the mirror. I find my appearance very unsettling. Must find my original head as soon as possible. Couple facial cleansers. Squirt water from the bathtub. Now, can I switch this without ruining it? Hopefully. I can see me showing on top of the cabinet. Should I take it? Unknown key. Blank pages in these books. Flower plant. Aside from that, mostly useless. Oh no. It's a corpse of a woman. She looks to be in her 30s. Could this woman have been someone important to me? I can't recall. To kill not only me, but also this family. Just what kind of monster is this killer? It's a cutting more of some vegetables on it. They're starting to dry up. Telephone. If I could supply with some power, I could use some functions on it. Telephone. Refrigerator and ingredients have been meticulously organized. So whoever lived here really made sure everything was in place. Microwave. Charred potatoes. So this is relatively all fresh. It's a vacuum cleaner. I don't need to clean anything but my soul, so I have no reason to use it. Television. I could supply with some power. Tableware. Use the light bulb head to supply the telephone with power. Also, equally, makes sense as everything else equally. When I power on the telephone, I can see that there's a notification for one message left in the answering machine. Man's voice. Oh, hello, Mr. Sekikuri? It's Hara. I got the stuff you asked me for earlier. But first I have to ask, what's going on? I'm shocked to see someone like you, of all people, invested in urban legends all of a sudden. You always come across as a sort to say stuff like, urban legends are nothing more than a story is told around a campfire. Oh, sorry, I didn't even ramble. I'll call back later. Mr. Sekikuri. Is my name Sekikuri? If I am, then that would make this mansion my home. Then I was killed along with my wife and daughter. I alone turned into a monster and survived this horrific ordeal. I now live as a sorry excuse for a husband and father. On TV, I was able to power on the television. The current channel is broadcasting the news. Next up on the news, there's been another victim in the serial killing case happening around Kizuraki City. The day before yesterday on a serial killing. Are we victims of that serial killer? The killer has not been caught yet and is still at large. Anxiety is spreading among the citizens as this growing threat continues. There was a sighting of a man wearing a bird-like head mask around the scene of the last killing. The police are advancing their investigation with him being a primary person of interest. Oh look, I had to change my name. Exit. Although I now know my real name, I don't know why I was murdered, why the killer also targeted my family. I couldn't find the killer anywhere. He must have been long gone by now. I have to go find him. It wasn't enough of just killing me and my family. Because of him I lost my head, my memories, and he turned me into a monster. I won't be satisfied until that wretched killer dies by my hands. Just you wait, you murderer. You will experience something far beyond what any mortal has ever felt. After all, I'm just as much of a monster as you are. So I'm assuming you can trigger a new ending every time you find something important. So this time we found our name. You see our name change in the menu. So I guess that was important enough for us to have an ending variation. So they aren't like true heavy endings, but they're like little tricks on it. Locked. Leave it alone for right now. Check this one out. The dictionary head. Things just make sense. January 10th, the master of the house is conducting his strange experiments again. I've recently noticed he's been acting differently as we get closer to the end of the year. Like something is frightening him. Up until now, the master has been more than willing to receive his own guests. However, he now requests that I or the madam do the honors. He also refuses to go outside. It's because it has gone cold lately. I can at least understand a little. I don't like the cold either. I try to check up the master's well-being in his personal secret chamber underneath the study, but it's difficult to access. Apparently there was a passcode and I don't have the faintest idea what it could be. Maybe it's a family member's birthday or something along those lines. I'll have to try it out next time. Seems to be the latest diary entry. Calendar. Respective dates. Young Miss birthday, Master's birthday, Madam's birthday. Plenty of books about motorcycles and manga magazines. The butler was in the manga. Not much. Not much. There are many travel magazines and maps. So we're done here. I can hear footsteps coming from above on the second floor. Is the killer still in the mansion? If so, why? Burglary. Maybe a grudge. Should I go confront the killer? Or should I leave this mansion immediately and contact the police? Although if I leave the place as I am now, all I will do is cause some unwanted hysteria over my appearance. And I can't just call the police over the phone either. Even though I'm dead and can't really die any further, I still don't want to take unnecessary risks. Why did I have to run away here? There's no way out from this place. There's nowhere for me to go. It's like I have this sick obsession with this mansion. I hate it. I hate myself for this. This is the first time I've experienced true fear. It seems like even I can experience a sort of ego. Well, that's just well for me. I guess this proves I'm still human. The killer is definitely still in the mansion. However, I don't need to give chase. All I need to do is inform the police or even a random passerby. I need to be quick before the killer makes an escape. That way he can finally be apprehended. Then I can bury my dear wife and daughter and properly mourn their deaths. This nightmare will soon be over, but leaves me asking, the serial killer, was it really this Birdman? Even if it wasn't him, it doesn't change the damage he has done. Justice will be served. And that's a never ending. So I think the climax is obviously building up to our guy being maybe the killer. But then there's this whole kind of Dullahan thing going on, which is a little quirky. So are they really killers? Is it just... Are we judging them because they don't have heads? You know, people who don't without heads have rights too. I've seen some anime with Dullahans that are very nice. You know, they're not all the... You know... The headless horseman. Same. Same. Hold up. Unknown and decorated key. Yeah, the unknown key. Weird. The area below is full of water, like my access to the door on the other end. Maybe I'm somehow able to scoop out the water. Oh no. That makes no okay. I could tolerate the fire head and the light bulb head being electricity. But no, you can't just use the bucket head and just magically have it suck up an entire pool. It's just a bucket of water. Is it a bucket of water void? Do we have magical powers? I can't see the bomb. If I fall down this hole, it'll be over for me. I have no choice but to go back. Well, no, don't worry. We'll just equip the light head. Or not. Weird. Hey. Wallpaper looks like it can peel off. Peel off the wallpaper of the grabber head. Secret. The footsteps are rapidly approaching. Is it all over for me? God, please help me. I know I've never placed any faith in you before, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Maybe it was the only piece of humanity I had left. I cast this on my whole family as I obsessed over work. I could only imagine how lonely it must have been for my wife and daughter. In that case, maybe this is the end I deserve. There's nothing here. Or maybe it's a flashback. It's a photograph of a family. It's the same photograph that was in the master bedroom. I can see a keypad underneath. Okay, so we need the passcode. Let's maybe go back and look at some of those other places. There's also a place we can douse something with water. Gold coins have been scattered all over the floor. They're obstructive and I want to collect them, but enough hands to hold them all. So use a bucket to collect all the gold coins. Bah. So... okay, yeah. So I tried adding... wherever it's, you add the birthdays of the family together. I tried initially, kind of just mixing up their dates, but that didn't work, so it's like an addition puzzle, I guess. Making a save. There's a sign of someone moving around inside the room beyond. Maybe it's the killer. It'd be better if I carried a weapon on me before I continue. Stay back! Get away! It's just that monster, the Birdman killer. I can see his bird head mask lying at his feet. This is the man who killed me. My family took my head, deprived me of my memories, deprived me of my happiness. Stay away, you monster! What an odd thing to say. Oh, that's right. You take on the form of the person you killed, don't you? Is that what you've done? The fact you can still move about a head proves you're a headless being. You murderer! What the hell are you saying? You're the murderer, not me. Why do you have to murder my wife, my daughter? You're a headless being. Isn't your entire goal to steal our heads? To commit senseless murder? Doesn't make any sense. Say whatever you like. Your fate is already sealed. I said get away! Oof, ice-blooded. Aside from occasionally twitching, he isn't moving. The lantern. Someone's blood. Is it Chris's? Who knows? No reason to read it. Okay. A bird head mask is lying on the floor. The fact that the man mentioned earlier was I who was the actual serial killer has been weighing on my mind. Put it on. Quite Birdman head. My memories are coming back to me. I wasn't killed here. I killed everyone here. This monster. This serial killer. I am he. I want this man's head. When I saw this man's head the other day and had zeroed in on it, I lost my own head several months ago. I've been going from person to person trying to find a suitable head. But this man's head, I want it. I have no proof this head is perfect for me, but my instinct tells me so. I had to cut down all obstacles in my path. Now I finally have that man before me. At last, I can retrieve my own humanity. It's time to claim my long-awaited prize. No. This feels wrong. I want to go back to being myself. I don't want to be someone else. I need to find my real head. It must be out there somewhere. For now, I need to get out of this place before morning dawns. Yet never a waste of time. Well, I'll take back my temporary head. It's not all bad in the end. Is a headless man's corpse, no more, no less. Why do I want to remove that? It's never ending now, maybe? Better make a save. Exit ending. It's not here either. Where's my head gone? What happened to my head anyway? I lost it several months ago and the memories of my life before have already faded. Still, I want to be myself again. I don't want to be anyone else. My head is gone, so I have no reason to linger here any longer. However, I must keep searching. Even seems my intuition is leading me astray. There goes the bird mask killer. It reminds me of Pyramid Head in a weird way. Especially with the cleaver. You know, it's very clever. Newscaster. Last night before dawn, a home in Kisaragi City has been partially burned down in a fire. 4 bodies were discovered inside the charred remains of the mansion. Also, one of the victims had their head removed. The police are investigating the crime under the assumption that the fire was set up after the murders and attempted to cover up. You mentioned that one of the victims' heads has been cut off. Is that similar to the serial killings? If that was the case, then why sudden change in MO? In the killings that happened so far, he has never resorted to arson, correct? Perhaps we're talking a copycat killer? Well, no matter who it is, we want them to be arrested as soon as possible. The police are now conducting investigations into a possible connection with the serial killings that have occurred since March. Oh, see, the title screen always changes depending on what objects we get. So, okay, here's what I'm going to call right now. I think there is a copycat killer, but it's in the sense that the birdhead killer sometimes kills and then takes someone else's head. And then the person who's lost their head sometimes wakes up. At least one of them did anyway. And then they took the mask themselves. That's maybe my guess. It's like a chain reaction. Alright. Let's douse a box. Douse the fire. I pour out the water. The fire has been safely extinguished. And the thing responsible for this fire is a cigarette. How careless can a person be? Oh, so we also get the money now. So now there's no arson. Use the bucket to collect all the gold coins. Beautiful trinkets lined up here. Small jewelry box. It's a large gemstone has a large crack in it. Expensive brands of clothing. This is where they kept all their fancy goods. Should put the gold collected coins I collected inside the jewelry box. I put all the gold coins I collected with the bucket head into the jewelry box. Jewelry box full of gold coins. Outside I can see the moonlight reflecting against the snow white covered ground, making the dark night seem quite bright. Piano. Was that it for this room? What was the point of doing that? I should have just kept the coins. What was I thinking? Let's see, is this the same? I think so. We skip through this really quick. The only difference is that we don't just burn down the house. Yeah, maybe. Let's find out. We'll just leave the house. The Birdman is a serial killer. Take the money. Damn it. I'm in my head anyway. This was months ago. Still want to be myself again. I don't want to be anyone else. And it's gone. I don't know linger. No reason to linger any longer. However, I must keep searching. Even seems my intuition is leading me astray. Same ending? Maybe a different post dialogue. Let's see, last night before dawn, a family was found murdered in their home in Kizaragi City. Isn't this the 8th incident so far? Yeah, this post commentary is different. Yes, that certainly seems to be the case because one of the victim's head has been removed. It seems like a clear link to the serial killings. Why did this happen? Who is the Birdman? Regardless of why he's taking heads, we all hope to get apprehended soon. The police have already taken action. They are searching for the whereabouts of a man wearing a bird head mask and business suit who they consider to be a person of interest. Oh, okay, so it's pretty much the same ending then. So, I guess that's it for the object. We never really found out what the headless people are. I'm a little disappointed by that, so I was a little curious when it's supposed to be unexplained. Maybe you are just Lilia Dullahan. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that name correctly. You know what I'm talking about anyway. But yeah, it's basically what I called it was, where we were the killer all along, and the headless. It's a little weird this world. There was a little thing actually, and I remember there was a little nod about what the headless maybe are, but overall they're mysterious kind of species or people. So anyway, this was all right. It's a little interesting premise. I wouldn't think of you playing a headless kind of ghost character. That's what I'll say about it. It's alright, you know. If there was anything that kind of carried it, it's that the dialogue is actually pretty decent as far as the narration. But I would like to see a little more oomph in the finale, and maybe the ending could have been a little better. That's about it. Anyway, so thank you all for watching Play the Object. I'll see you guys later, and take it easy.